Thank you. Thank you very much. May you please be seated. Now, to start us off this morning, my name is Hassan Abdi. May I take this opportunity to welcome you all for this special day in Garissa. And to start us off, please, may I call upon Muhammad Khalif to come and give us a word of prayer.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the name of Allah, most compassionate, most merciful. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Oh Allah, make these deliberations of us a blessed deliberation with our very, very honorable DPP as the chief guest. Karibu sana. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Shukran sana Muhammad Khalif. Reer Garissa, afke mako hadalna, af Swahili, af Somali, mise af Ingris. Afke barabtan. Kiswahili, tutachanganya zote tatu ikiwezekana. So once again, karibuni sana. May I now to start us off, I have the pleasure of calling our Secretary of the Office of the Public Prosecution. She is a senior counsel, Madam Dorcas Oduor, to come and give a welcoming remarks. Karibu sana, Madam Dorcas.
Good morning. You will indulge me and will allow me to speak in English because my Kiswahili is very, very poor. On behalf of the Director of Public Prosecutions and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, I wish to welcome you today to this occasion when we are launching the standing operating procedures on female genital mutilation, anti-female genital mutilation. The Office of the DPP is a constitutional office, as you know, and the main mandate of the Office of the DPP is to exercise prosecutorial powers all over the country. For that reason, we prosecute cases in all courts and we prosecute all offenses, including the one we are dealing with today. The Office of the DPP has a presence in the headquarters in Nairobi. We are in 47 counties and 120 county stations. We also have regional offices. Garissa is not only our county office, it is also our regional office that administers all the counties within this region. Therefore, it is a very big office, and it is represented by a Senior Director of Public Prosecutions, Mr. Orinda. Where are you? He is the head of the Garissa region. When the DPP took over office, he undertook and he vowed to enhance the capacity of prosecutors. The SOPs that we are launching today are supposed to enhance the capacity of prosecutors when dealing with matters of genital mutilations among the society. But apart from that, last week we launched a one-year diploma for prosecutors, and it's supposed to work hand in hand with what we are launching today. Just as a summary, female genital mutilation is generally the alteration or interference with the female genital parts without medical intervention or for no medical intervention reasons. Therefore, it is done for cultural purposes. Initially, it was practiced in about 30 countries in Africa, but it is not only practiced in Africa, it is practiced all over the world, and therefore it is a world problem. The effects of female genital mutilation is that it has far-reaching effects on girls, whereby they have medical issues, and eventually they have sexual reproductive issues and mental issues. For that reason, the international community found that it must have a voice and it must speak about it. The UN then came up with SDG 5.3, where they recognized female genital mutilation as a violation of the rights of the girls. And February 6 is a day of female genital mutilation, whereby all countries are supposed to observe and enhance their policies. They call upon all communities to reimagine how we deal with female genital mutilation, and they call all upon us, including us today, to give women a voice, a chance, and control over their bodies and their reproductive parts. As the office of the DPP, we follow what the international community has done, and they call upon us to look at these 4 issues, to identify approaches that deal with prevention, protection, partnerships, and prosecutions. The ODPP, in the exercise of its mandate, prosecutes offenses under the Prohibition of Female Genital Mutilation Act of 2011, and it is incumbent upon the prosecutor to appreciate the legal provisions while making the decision to charge. The Prohibition of FGM Act 2011 provides that the prosecutor with a challenge as it seeks to give the various scenarios under which the FGM can be performed. FGM is the short form of female genital mutilation. This diversity of practice amongst the communities in Kenya must be put in context when making the decision to charge, as well as drafting of the charge sheet. It is for this reason that the ODPP has developed the SOP on prosecution of female genital mutilation to guide the prosecutors in appreciating not only the legal provisions, but also the different scenarios that each case may present. We come from different communities and we practice different cultural practices, but the prosecutor is called upon to be objective. And the purposes of these SOPs is to give the prosecutor the power to apply the scenarios in which they are faced with in order to be consistent in their objectivity in making the decision to charge. Now, the SOPs, together with other prosecutorial tools, including decision to charge, shall ensure that there is a standardized practice in the prosecution of FGM and related cases. In Kenya, it is estimated that 4 million girls and women have undergone FGM. There are other perspectives that must be appreciated in the implementation of the interventions against FGM, and these are the economic aspects, the health aspects, and the cultural dynamics. These aspects hold the key in determining the effectiveness of the various approaches employed in the programming initiative. In Kenya, culture has greatly influenced the practice of FGM. Communities that practice FGM do so for varied reasons, thus calling for multi-pronged approaches in developing FGM interventions. If they are to bear fruit, observation of the communities in Kenya must reveal that they are mostly marginalized and the women have little, if any, access at all to income-generating activities, basic government services such as health, education, water, sanitation, and prosecution. And that is the reason why the policies we are launching today is calling upon the prosecutors not only to look at the evidence, but to look at the public interest, which will apply the different diversities of the standard of education, the culture, economic activity, the capacity of the people we are dealing with. We are happy today to have you here because you are our witnesses in these cases. In some instances, you are also our accused persons, you are our complainants, and also you are the officers who we are dealing with when we're investigating and prosecuting these cases. I welcome you today on behalf of the DPP, and I hope that together with the world, we shall reimagine female genital mutilation to give the girls a voice, a chance, and capacity to have control over their sexual productive productive issues and also their lives. Thank you so much and welcome.
Shukran. Thank you so much, Madam SPP. Thank you so much. Aad baad u mahadsantahay. Gabadh baa inoo joogtaa oo inala shaqaysaa oo siyaado la yiraahdo iyadaa maanta inoo turjubaynaysa. Kale siyaado. Very briefly, atazungumza kwa Kisomali kidogo kwa wale ambao hawaelewi, just to get a feel of what SPP has said. Aad baad u mahadsantiin.
السلام عليكم reer Garissa setting aniga ku aad dhahdin Soomaali sujuugan ku jiraa soo waxyaalo si hadda maqashin iska qoslaleeya marka maanta waxa laga hadlaayo waa wax anaga dhan Soomaali saawnan ka xishoono waxa laga hadlayaa gudniinka gabdhaha ee fircooniga sunniga kulliga ay ku jiraan iyo keesaskaas ay markii la keeno kootiiniga sida lagu hadlayo maxkamooyinka xalka loola dhaqdo waxaa lagu hadlayaa in aad tihiin dadka oo keesaskaas keeni lahaay waxa la gudiyo dhibka loo geystay ay tahay gabadhaada ay dhici karto wax u geysat in aad tahay waxaa kaloona dhici karta qofka oo marqaati ahaanta loo soo qabto inaad tihiin waqtiga keeska la geeyo kootiiniga marka anaga Soomaali saawnaanay dhaqan ahaan maxaa u aragnaa gudniinka in ay tahay wax dhaqankeena ka mid oo ka tagi karin laakiin dhibaato fara badan ay u keensataa dumarka anaga ka mid nahnay oo soo marnay marka waxyaalo waxa jirta maanta aabooyinkeena walaalaheen wiilasheena hadii u sheegano kulay maamooyinku ay ogyihiin ay ka xishoonayaan hata ay fiirin karin laakiin waa dhibna haasto hadii idinka niin sheegan yaan u sheeganaa marka dhibaato fara badan uu leeyahay ay ka mid tahay caadada gabdhaha xumaato infection faraha badan oo dhamaanin iyo waqtigii u mulayaan dhibaato fara badan oo keentaa jirta marka waa waxaan ognahay inay dadka ay dhaqan ahaan ay caadeysteen hadii ka hadalnano dib iyo qaylo keen karo laakiin xaq laga ma hadlamaano nabiga sallallahu alayhi wasallam wuxuu dhahay xaq laga ma xishoodo marka kama xishoonayno hadda uma sii gudagalayno si aade maadaama dad kale hadli karo hadda inta fadhiya ay jiraan oo ka hadli doono marka DPP-geena Nuurdin Xaaji maanta inta joogo oo maaragtay waxyaalahaas ay oo dhahay dadka kale hadii ay ka hadli karin anaga maaragtay u sheegayo wiilkooda laakiin afka saad uma aqaana marka sidaas marka ani dartiis uga hadlaya marka walaalayaal horta soo dhawaado waa maatintiin meeshan waa meeshiini laakiin anagaan imaadni waan igu soo dhaweynayna functionkan hadda aan qabanay gabadha hadda inta ka tagayso waxyaalaha ka hadashay waxa kamid qofka horta gudniinka suubiyo sunniha ahaata fircooni ahaata nuuca ahaatabo oo waa wax oo lagu qabsan karo oo sharciyan lagu geyn karo maxkamadaha oo lagu xukumi karo inkastoo ay kala tahay oo tii fircooniga iyo tii kale iyo midda sunniga kulli ay isku maaragtay ciqaabtooda isku mid ahayn kulligood ciqaab bay leeyihiin marka taas horta liin ogeysiinaya in la joojiyana waa liin ka codsanaya marka waxyaalo fara badan waan ka sii hadli doonaa hadda intaas waan igu soo dhaweynayna hadalka in ku badiyo ma rabo marka maanta waxaan ka hadlaynaa taas ay tahay ee shariicadu waxay ka qabto iyo waxyaalaha maaragtay qofkii lagu ark inuu suubinayo la marinayo laakiin xagga cabsida xagga dinaan in ku badi ma rabno waxaan rabnaa idinkoo og oo na garab haay in aad xumaantiisa aragtiin oo iska joojisiin oo gabdhaheena oo hooyaalkeen iyo walaalaheen maaragtay dhibaatadanayto waxaanay u keenayaan awl horaan war ka garanaynin aan joojino
aad baad u mahadsantahay siyaado xafiiskeena ee ka shaqeysa dhinaca ICT-ga. May I take this opportunity to recognize the presence of the honorable leaders, the MP and the women rep. Karibuni sana. It's now my pleasure to ask Honorable County Commissioner, tuko kwako hapa, utukaribishe na wewe pia, ukuje utuambie maneno ya machache. Karibu. Boaz Cheruyot. Cherotich. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, MC. Our chief guest this morning, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Noordin Haji. Members of Parliament present, Honorable Sophia, Member of Parliament for Ijara constituency, Honorable Dr. Mohammed Dahir, Member of Parliament for Dadaab. Thank you for coming. Senior officers from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, the Regional Police Commander, Mr. Bunei, members of the county and the regional security committees, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, good morning. Good morning once again. My name is Boaz Tirutich, County Commissioner Garissa. And sir, let me take this opportunity to welcome you and your team and to thank you for choosing Garissa as the venue to host, as the venue to launch the SOPs, SOP manual for the prosecution of FGM. And therefore, we are happy, we are delighted, and therefore, what I know is that it was possible. The arrangement of this activity or function was possible through the support of the CSOs who are very active on the ground, and I really want to thank them. Now, you are aware that His Excellency the President gave a directive way back that the practice of FGM must end by the year 2022. And therefore, following that directive, the government organized to have a multi-agency team on FGM, and each and every county has a steering working group, or rather a technical working group, which I co-chair with the governor. And we have made some great efforts in the campaign against FGM in this county. Though, of course, we've not done much as expected, but our presence here today, our gathering here today will really boost those activities which are earmarked to run. And therefore, the national policy on eradication of FGM is in place. And we are using this policy document to guide us to ensure that we fight this outdated practice. We have very many victims who are suffering in silence. And this practice is actually done very quietly in the villages, in Aficho, Ukunda, and Ndani. And there we are calling upon the national government, administrative officers, and the elders to identify those culprits so that they can be arrested and brought to book. I know it's not easy fighting this practice because it's a deeply rooted practice in the communities in the 22 counties which have been identified here in Kenya. And therefore, let's support these victims who are actually suffering. Their dignity actually has been reduced to nil. Nobody has even come out very, very strongly to support them. And therefore, it's high time that we come together and support each other. So let me introduce the team present here from the national government. We have assistant chiefs who have been very, very key in the campaign on the ground. Maybe if you can kindly stand. The chiefs, assistant chiefs. Musimame, asante muwapigie makofi. These are the few who come from around here. Thank you very much. We have the members of the Sub-County Security Committee led by the DCC Ole Kipuri, together with the OCBDs and your entire team. Musimame so that you can be recognized. Kule nyuma, asanteni sana. Thank you for coming. We also have heads of departments from national governments. Those departments whom we work with, the gender officer, all national government officers, please, if you can stand so that you can be recognized. Asanteni, pigia makofi, asante. We have the members of the County Security Committee who are here present. Kindly stand. So behind there we have the CSIC members. And finally, of course, we have the regional, you can be seated. We have the Regional Security Committee who is represented by the Regional Police Commander. And because we work very closely with the National Police Service and the county government, you will allow me, sir, to invite the Provincial Police Officer or the Regional Police Commander to make a few remarks. Thereafter, I will invite the representative of the Governor. So, asanteni sana, makofi kwa Regional Police Commander Bunei. Karibu.
Thank you, County Commissioner. May I kindly ask, sir, if kidogo tutumie lugha ya taifa, si ndio? Si utaelezea tu, unaijua vizuri. Hata English ni lugha ni official, lakini tutumie lugha ya taifa, Kiswahili.
Thank you, CC. Our chief guest this morning, Mr. Notri Naji, the director of OTBB, regional security team present, county, county chiefs presence na wananchi. Amchambuni tena. Mtu ya mwisho unanisikia? Weka mkono kama unanisikia. Good. Nimeelezwa na MC niongee Kiswahili. Nilikuwa nataka kuchapa Kiingereza kidogo, lakini ni sawa. Asante sana. Nafikiri vile nasimama hapa kwa niaba ya National Police Service, I was sent by IG to come here for this meeting, and on behalf of the National Police Service, hizi ukeketaji kwa watoto wadogo, nafikiri natumia lugha safi hiyo, wanaelewa huko nyuma. Sisi hiyo serikali ilipiga marufuku kitambo sana, na huko kwetu hata mahali mimi natoka tulikuwa tunaendelea na hizo maneno, na tulikundua kwamba watoto waendange shule, once akikeketwa inapita aolewe kuwa bibi ya mtu. Sasa tunakuwa wasichana kwenda shule, lakini baada sisi kuacha hiyo practice, huko kwetu tumepata wasichana wameenda shule, wamekuwa wakubwa kwa serikali. Sasa hapa kwenyu mnakubali watu wakeketwe waende waolewe, alafu kazi yao ni kuchunga mbuzi. Mheshimiwa Sofia, utakubali watu wachunga? Utapata wapi MPs kule madam ataritai? Itakuwa hakuna, because amchasomesha watoto. So mimi nawasi hata wale wasome kutoka pande huko, kutoka Mandera, Garissa, Wajir, tafadhalini muachana hiyo maneno. Zamani ilikuwa inafanya with a purpose, na hiyo purpose ilipitwa na wakati, haina maana. Na sisi polisi, kazi ya polisi ni kushika tu na kupeleka kwa huko kwa OTPB. Unafungula mashtaka tu, sisi ni kuprepare file, tunapeleka kwa watu ya mkubwa. Wewe unafungwa tu. Kama bado uko na hizo mawembe na mafisu kwa nyumba, tafadhali enda uweke mbali sana, na utube kwa toilet huko. Sasa hii tunaendelea, Kenya iko kwa digital vitu inabadilika. So na awasi, tafadhalini muache kabisa. I know hapa mimi nimefanya kazi Moyale, nimefanya Mandera. Ile shida iko our chief guest, watu hapa napenda kitu naita masla. Wakati mtu ameharibu mtoto ya wenyewe, wanaenda wanasema wacha sisi tuongee wase, wewe unatueleza nini? Hii ni kazi yetu. So mimi niko na hakika ya kwamba huko wale wasichana wanachunga ng'ombe huko, sisi tukienda patrol unakuta wasichana wadogo wanachunga ng'ombe, unashangaa wataenda shule lini? Wasichana wadogo, hata ukipita njia kwenda Mwingi, I don't see young men looking after animals. These only girls. Kwa nini wasichana? Ukienda njia kwenda Motogas, ukienda Garissa, Wajir, hiyo barabara tunapitanga, wasichana wanachunga mbuzi tu. Kwa nini mnatesa watoto? Chief, nafikiri bwana sisi, ile kitu hapa ni chief. Sio kama wanaogopa kuripoti. Wetu tulikuwa tunatengeneza buza, changa. Wakati ya President Moi, alisema ile chief itakutana changa ikitengenezwa kwa area yako unaenda home. Na sisi changa iliisha. Sasa kwa nini hapa sioni kwa nini kama chief bus? Wewe sema kwa nini wewe sienda nyumbani? Because kuna watu wanataka kazi. There are some people want to be employed. Hawana kazi. Na kama wewe unacheza na area yako, wewe utaki mtu kuwa wasiri. You don't want somebody to be a principal of certain school, girls school. You don't want somebody to be in charge of a ministry in the health department. Hakuna. Hata hakuna hata kusikia lady in the police ambaye inatoka hapa mkubwa. Because wana nini yuko nyuma huko. So mimi naomba kabisa. Lakini mimi nahakikishia ofisi ya ODPB, sisi tukipata kesi kama polisi hatutarudi nyuma. Na hiyo mimi nakuhakikishia on the behalf of National Police Service that any case coming before us on issues of FGM, that one hatutarudi nyuma. Sisi hatuwezi kubali maslahi. Bwana Katumo, kesi yote kikuja kwako, hiyo tu nataka kusema leo tu. Hata ukipigiwa simu na mheshimiwa, ati kesi tutamaliza huko na wazee. Unakataa. Akisema ati naona hii kesi iende tu hivi tu. Bwana sisi yayo. Make sure mtu ameenda kotini. Naja tukupeleka mbili watu wataona we are serious. So kwa niaba ya polisi na hakikishia kwamba sisi hatutarudi nyuma. Tutaendelea na tutafanya vile inatakana. So sasa watu wajue ya kwamba sisi ni serious. When the government has passed a resolution ya kwamba by 2022 issues of FGM imeisha. Sisi police ni kuimplement. Hiyo ni kazi yetu tu. So nashukuru sana our chief guest for having this very important exercise here or this seminar. I know at the end of it, out of watu 70 hapa, watu 65 wataenda wakiwa wanaenda kueneza hiyo neno. Thank you Bwana Sisi for inviting me. Thank you very much, sir.
Pigie makofi tena Bwana Bunei. Thank you very much. Asante kwa kutoa hiyo commitment kwamba National Police Service mtakaza kabisa kuhakikisha kwamba wenye wanafanya hiyo dhambi wanashikwa. Niruhusu niite County Secretary Abdirashid ambaye anawakilisha Mheshimiwa Governor. Makofi kwake.
Thank you, Bwana County Commissioner. Assalamu alaikum. I think when I look at the audience here, I think I'll be safe to use English as a mode of language because I know almost everybody. These are people who can understand all the languages. The DPP, Nurdin Haji, the County Commissioner, Honorable Mheshimiwa Sophia from Ijara constituency, Honorable Mohammed Dahiye from the Dab constituency, other security teams who are here, representatives from NGOs and civil society, especially on issues of GBV, gender-based violence, and FGM. We are happy this morning for the launch of Standard Operating Procedures Manual and Rapid Reference Guide on prosecution of female genital mutilation. We thank the Office of DPP for choosing Garissa County to launch this very important Rapid Reference Manual. We have been told by the earlier speakers that this will enhance the capacity of prosecutors handling FGM cases. In Garissa County, I'm sure it was one of the case studies and one of the counties which have got high level of FGMs due to cultural practices. By the DPP, we also thank for your office and the government in devolving your services up to the county levels in most of the counties in Kenya, in all the counties in Kenya. Previously, we only used to have the DPP in Nairobi, but now it has been devolved up to the lowest region and lowest level at the county levels. We appreciate that. We also welcome your office in your 2-day public engagement in various venues within Garissa County. I understand that you'll be here up to tomorrow, where you will be launching community dialogue at the Kenya National Library, and then an afternoon session for the launch of Social Justice Center, where the venue is going to be the Garissa Legal Aid Center. As the county commissioner have just intoned, Garissa has a Garissa County Working Group, FGM, which is chaired by the county commissioner and co-chaired by the county governor. And I can assure you that we have a good rapport with the security team here, and we can ensure that any FGM cases that comes to the justice system is going to be supported until the final judgment of fairness of the victims. Representing Garissa County here is myself, the County Secretary, and also I have the Director for Gender and Social Service, Abdullahi Idle. We also have the Deputy County Secretary, Abdurashid. With those few remarks, thank you very much.
Makofi tena kwa Abdurashid, County Secretary. Thank you so much for those good remarks. Mgeni wetu wa heshima, kama utaniruhusu kidogo tu ili turudi kupatia nafasi viongozi wetu ambao wako hapa. Tuko na masheikh pamoja na SUPKEM chairman. So maybe SUPKEM chairman, if you can come forward to make a few remarks on their behalf. Karibu sana. Tuko na ruhusa kutumia sasa lugha yote hata ile ya kinyumbani. Okay. Makofi kwake.
بسم الله الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين على أمور الدنيا والدين صلى الله على نبينا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين ما بعد السلام عليكم hamujambo kwa jumla sisi kama viongozi vya dini eneo hii Garissa County na kwa kaskazini mashariki wa Kenya kwa jumla sisi kama viongozi tunapinga yoyote ambaye inadhuru humanity. We are against any harmful practice to our young child, be it girl, be it boy, be it old age. We are against. And Islam commit us to perform and protect humanity and all living things. Not only humanity, but all living things. وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا فَكَأَنَّمَا أَحْيَا النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. And hiyo aya inasema ya kwamba yeyote ambaye anaokoa nafsi katika hatarini ni kama ameokoa binadamu duniani. Dini ya Kiislamu ni dini ya amani, ni dini ya maisha, ni dini ambayo inatunza na inahimiza uhai ya kila aina, binadamu na wanyama, na dini ambayo inaheshimu dignity ya mtu yeyote. Islam prohibit any harmful practice our young girls. We are against kama viongozi wa dini ya Kiislamu FGM. We are against killing the innocent people. We are against extremism, violent. Annaga haddaan Islam nahay, diinteena Islaamka ma ogola wax alla wixii dhibahaya qofka bini aadanka, ama gabar yar ha ahaato, ama mid weyn ha ahaato, ama qof waayeel ha ahaado, ama qof ruux ahaadaba. Diinteena Islaamka ma ogola, annagana midaasaan ka dambaynaa. Sisi tunahimiza maendeleo na tunakataa yoyote ambaye ana violate any right of humanity. Kwa hayo machache, asanteni sana.
Okay, kwa hivyo mpaka hapo asanteni sana. Nataka tu niwatangazieni kwamba kesho tutakuwa kuna kikao kule National Library Services Hall, na kwa hivyo machiefs pamoja na DCC mobilize ili watu wajae hapo, ili watu hao pia wapate nafasi ya kutoa maoni yao. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
Asante sana Commissioner wa uongozi wako. Ningependa sasa kuita Mr. Yusuf from Haki Africa. Yuko wapi Mr. Yusuf? Dakika 2 tafadhali, ukuje utoe maoni yako kidogo.
Assalamu alaikum. Bwana guest of honor, Honorable Sophia, Honorable Dahir, other guests. I'm here on behalf of Haki Africa. They were to join us in this activity and be here with us for these 3 days. But unfortunately, jana walipata accident. Kwa hivyo they are in hospital, but they are stable. But they are. So tuwaombe wapate nafuu. After that, Bwana guest of honor, on behalf of Haki Africa and other civil society members who are here, we have been fully engaged in the battle against FGM and other forms of GBV. Together with us, we have been working with a number of agencies led by the Garissa Civil Society and the Paralegals Network. Tafadhali tusimame, Bwana Chairman and your team. This is the team that is actively engaged. Bwana, we have gender technical working group members also who are here. Tafadhali simameni. Work with the Department of Gender, and this is chaired by the County Commissioner and the Minister for Gender. Both of these organs work together on issues of GBV and on issues of FGM. So we are committed, unlike other parts of the government that may not be able to be proudly saying we have handled this. We have got cases that we have handled, we have got functions that we have held, and we are still aggressive against it. Kwa Kisomali, arrinkan maanta loo imaado halkan waa arrin aad iyo aad, I think I'm proud to say we have an icon, a model who have ambaye alipigana na mambo FGM when she was in civil society, Madam Sophia. Tumpigia makofi tafadhali. And that is where we have borrowed. Annagana Soomaali haddaan nahay waa wax gabdhaheena ay ku dulman yihiin, waa wax gabdhaha ay raggana uu ku qatan yahay. Waad iska fahmi kartaan, gabdhihii baa ku dulman, raggana wuu ku qatan yahay. Ninkii fahmi kara af Soomaali ha fahmo. Tan labaad, nin walbo meel kasta uu joogo, guidelineskan maanta la set gareeye, annaga civil society haddaan nahay, we shall work with the police, we shall work with the judiciary, we shall work with the administration, and we will make sure the first few cases go to court in January. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Yusuf. Honorable DPP, sir, if you allow me, I know County Commissioner had spoken on behalf of the county administration, but there's one chief who wishes to share a successful story. Dakika 2 tu, Mr. Harith Khalif Maalim. Yuko wapi? Tafadhali njoo utuambie kwa dakika 2.5 kazi nzuri uliofanya.
Assalamu alaikum. Sir, our DPP, who is the guest of honor today, the other guest, Assalamu alaikum na wananchi. Sir, nilikuwa nataka kushare na experience ambayo nilifanya sisi tukiwa machief, hasa mimi hapo 15, ile area ambayo mimi nawakilisha sasa naitwa 15 West location, na mimi ni host chief. Sasa hii mahali ambayo iko London, ambayo sasa hii mkutano iko baraza, mimi ndo chief yake, na kuna kina mama walikuwa wanafanya hiyo kazi ya kukata wasichana ama kudhulumu hawa. Nilijitolea nikaenda kwa nyumba na nikachukua hawa kina mama walikuwa kina mama 4, nikachukua zile vitu ambayo walikuwa wanafanyia kazi, and I have the evidence ile coverage nilifanya with my former county commissioner Mr. Mary Mwangi. I wanted to share with you that information. So we stand with the government, we should stand with the president, our president, na tuhakikisha ya kuwa hakuna FGM itafanyika kwetu. Kusaidiana na wananchi wa nyumba 10, wazee, kina mama, na inshallah tutakomesha hiyo maneno yasifanyika. Hiyo tu sana nilikuwa nataka kueleza, and I have the photo here. Thank you sir. The coverage of the media. Yes sir.
Asante sana, asante sana. Tumpigie makofi kwa kazi nzuri ambaye amefanya. Na hayo ndio mambo tunataka kuona. Chief County Commissioner, umeona uko na wafanyakazi barabara kabisa. Asante sana Chief Hared. Ningependa ku recognize the presence of Mr. Dickson Mwakazi ambaye ni Assistant Commissioner General of Prisons na ni Director wa Legal Affairs and Statistics ambaye ana represent Commissioner General of Prisons. Unaweza tu kusimama Mr. Dickson na salimia wananchi. Asante sana Mr. Dickson. Ningependa sasa kuchukua nafasi kumwalika Mr. Abdullahi. Tafadhali njoo tuambie we ni nani na unafanya nini kwa dakika 2.5.
Assalamu alaikum. Mimi naitwa honorable guest, chief guest, ODPP office director, Madam Sophia, honorable Sophia Jara constituency, honorable Daie, the DAP constituency, county commissioner, my boss, county secretary, who is presenting the governor, all protocol observed. Assalamu alaikum once again. Mimi naitwa Abdullahi Idle Gure, director gender culture and social services. I thought wakati county secretary maongea hii nimeisha mambo ya county, lakini kama nimepatiwa chance nitaongea. Nawakilisha kwamba waziri wangu Madam Zainab, who is committed for other official purposes. I'm representing what you call on her behalf to in her office as a director of gender culture and social services. Sisi kazi yetu ni implement presidential directives through the county structure, whereby we work together with the county commissioner's office. We have the county commissioner is the what do you call the chairman of the technical working group, co-chaired by the waziri or the county governor, and then we are secretariat. Mr. Harrison, I and Mr. Harrison, who is the state Department of Gender, and we are the secretariat of the technical working group of gender to perform all the gender issues, including the FGM, including the other GVB issues. We have had a number of cases through this technical working group, and we managed to save a lot of lives, including what happened in Lagdera, what has happened in Mwangaza, what has happened in Bularik recently, what happened in Bula College. All those cases pass our offices, and we made sure that cases end up in court through the office of the DPP. We refused what's called maslaha. Maslaha is good for other purposes, but the issue of GVP, we cannot compromise on maslaha issues. Chiefs and assistant chiefs, I think some of you have worked together, and you know what we have done. So still now, so long the representative of the president, the Nurdin Haji is here today, that means this is a big thing. It's a big thing that the government want to take serious measures against any form of gender-based violence. So please, let's pull our socks. Let's redouble our efforts. We have been doing before, but now let's take in another different dimensions. With that, I was caught off guard. I was not prepared well. So I think I'm done. Thank you very much.
Asante sana Mr. Abdullahi. Nafikiri mumeona kwamba timu ipo, watu wapo na wako tayari kufanya kazi. May I now call upon Dr. Rashid Umar ambaye atakuja kuzungumza kidogo tu on behalf of the chairperson of the Anti-FGM board. Karibu sana Dr. Rashid Umar. Wewe nitakupa dakika 3 kuongezea nusu dakika. Ama unaweza ongeza nusu ingine kwa sababu wewe ndio mambo haya unayoshughulikia, wewe ndio mkubwa. Karibu.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The leaders, government leaders, civil societies, all protocol observed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh again. I think I just came yesterday. Russian, I was engaged in FGM all over the counties of Wajir. And still we have not finished because we have to rush and cut our programs short for this special occasion. Asanteni sana, I will just read on behalf of our chair lady, her speech. I take this opportunity on behalf of the chairperson of Anti-FGM board and the entire board to thank the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution and all other stakeholders for this important milestone of launching the standard operating procedures on FGM. I thank the DPP for choosing Garissa County as the launching venue for this special occasion. Because just like Wajir, Mandera, and the Tana River counties, it is predominantly inhabited by the pastoralist communities who actually practice majorly this activity. According to the Kenyan Demographic and Health Survey of 2014, Somali community has the highest prevalence of female genital mutilation at 95% against the national prevalence of 21%. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are all aware, female genital mutilation is one of the most severe forms of gender-based violence meted on women and girls across the world. This launch comes at the opportune time when the world is marking the 16th, when the world is marking the 16th day of activism against gender-based violence, marked annually from November 25th and ends to December 10th. This year's theme, is Orange the World and Violence Against the Girls. Despite known and numerous negative consequences of FGM and the existence of sufficient legal and policy frameworks, many communities still practice it. Thus denying women and girls their constitutional and legal rights of living decent and dignified life from harmful cultural practices. I recognize the great efforts by the Office of the DPP for developing the standard operating procedures that will guide our efforts and interventions effectively and efficiently in ending FGM. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution plays a crucial and a pivotal and pertinent role in gathering and presenting evidences in court for determination and the prosecution of cases. I further recognize the commitment of the DPP for establishing special unit to specifically deal with cases of FGM. The SOPs will therefore come in handy in establishing and grounding more coordinated mechanisms and measures in ensuring that all cases of FGM are watertight to ensure the perpetrators of FGM are convicted effectively. We appreciate the work of all stakeholders, including partners, government sectors or NAMs, civil societies, among others, who are working in northeastern counties towards the elimination of GM. The DPP is also part of the 10-member multi-agency technical committee established to accelerate the abandonment of FGM by 2022 as directed by our President, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2019. And you can see, we have here the President. If you see that he has a coat, and that is the time he made that coat. This committee also comprises the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, Ministry of East African Community, Ministry of Interior, the National Treasury and the Ministry of Culture. The Department of Social Protection, formerly in the Ministry of Labor, is now under our parent ministry, that is the Ministry of Public Service, Gender, Senior Citizens Affairs and Special Programs, which is the coordinating ministry where the Anti-FGM board falls. Despite, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, despite robust campaigns and advocacy toward abandonment of FGM, the statistics are still dire. Particularly in this region, deeply rooted cultural practices packed with some conflicting Islamic jurisprudential views, fiqh, has contributed to the high prevalence of FGM in this region and among the Somali community specifically. While some Islamic leaders and scholars agree that these practices has no strong backing in Islamic religion, others are persuaded that the practice is regarded as sunnah or permissible act backed by some Islamic jurists. That is the reality. Let us not hide ourselves and talk about the reality and talk other things when we are there, when they are somewhere, and then here we say. Therefore, I recommend the scholars of Garissa, the way on Friday in Wajir we are going to do, we are meeting them and telling them, give direction to the people. Because people are, the Basque community are confused. Here also we expect, we have also said, we have not actually, Anti-FGM board has even gone to the farthest where Mheshimiwa is coming from. We are not actually tired of doing everything, but still we are faced with some challenges, and we have to accept it. While the Constitution of Kenya and all other laws protects every Kenyan from harmful cultural practices, including FGM. The Prohibition of FGM Act 2021 prescribes any interference with the female genitalia in any form for non-medical reason amounts to FGM. That FGM has serious consequences which affects girls and women needs to be gainsaid. Life testimonies of the survivors who are living with lifelong difficulties, health complications of FGM have proved that this practice is harmful, and in fact not harmful, but a deadly one. And therefore, we cannot bury our heads in the sand and wish it away. It is for that reason that the Act has enacted to protect further harm to women and girls and protect their dignity and honor. Even in Islamic perspective, what causes more harm than good must be done away with. For the past 1 week, we have been engaged with sheikhs, madrasa teachers, Islamic scholars, cultural leaders across all the sub-counties in Wajir County. This engagement is set to continue for the next 1 week as we seek to buy in from the community and have a consensus and a common voice against FGM and implore on them to change agents and the champions the community toward abandonment of FGM. This engagement will result into Islamic religious conferences to be held in Wajir County and the interfaith religious conferences in Nairobi, where they will benchmark on the strides made since signing the commitment at the State House, Nairobi, in 2019 to realize the presidential directives to end FGM 2022. The engagement is also part of the preparation for Wajir County to host the commemoration of the International Day of Zero Tolerance for FGM that is marked worldwide every year on February 6th. As the board, we recognize that a paradigm shift is not revolutionary, but evolutionary. And therefore, that evolutionary has been followed. We have started with information synthesizing the community. We are at the stage of persuading the communities. Then that is where now enforcement of the law, which is now due, should be inflicted on those who will go against it. That is, we have been having continuous and robust engagement with the communities as the best approach as we create awareness as to why these cultural practices must be rooted out completely. However, the law must take its course, as we have already done enough sensitization through community sensitization and the mass media. Perpetrators must face the law. Hence, we commend the launch of the SOP manual today. To the survivors of FGM, you have a duty to tell stories. Don't tire to share your experience. Don't fall to stigma and intimidation. This is because you carry the testimony of the unjust meted on you. This should not be glorified or hidden behind any religious teachings or connotations and references. Be the vessel of change. Stand out and speak for those at risk. Be their voice and advocate. In conclusion, I once more thank ODPP for this great initiative of developing the SOP manual. I appreciate all who invested in this document, and let it be a life-saving jacket for the girls and the women of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, it is easy to inherit what is already working, but it is hard to improve on it. So, as we implement this document, let us endeavor to make it better for sustainability, efficiency, and effectively. Let us serve this mission of bringing to book the perpetrators of GM. It is only through making the law deterrent that we can have a just and a cohesive society. May God Almighty, Allah, bless you all. Thank you, and pamoja tukomeshe ukeketaji.
Asante sana Dr. Rashid Umar. We really appreciate the work that you are doing. Si mnaona kazi wanayofanya ni ngumu na ni nzito. So it requires your support. There is something that Doctor has said which should worry all of us here, that this community has the highest number of this problem. It is time that one changed. Sawa sawa, wananchi wa Garissa. May I now call upon a representative from the Judiciary. We were expecting Honorable the Judge, Justice Abida Ali, but she's not around. There is a Mr. Mugo. Mr. Mugo. Yes, please come and say a few remarks on behalf of the resident judge. Karibu.
Thank you, thank you. Good morning, guests of honor, and all the guests. Good morning again. My name is Stanley Moga, Court Administrator, Garissa Law Courts. On behalf of the judge and the Judicial Fraternity at Garissa Law Courts, I'm here just to give my thanks because of launching of this standard operating manual, because it has come just at the right time. The core mandate of the courts, as you all know, is to deliver justice to the public. The courts, we are ready to work together, as we have the courtesy of the Court Users Committee, courtesy of the National Council for Administration of Justice from the Office of the Chief Justice. In fact, this launching concerns matters of SGBV, which the courts is ready to work together with everybody, with all the stakeholders, that we are ready and we shall commit ourselves to commit at the fast track whenever these matters come to court. In fact, they are sensitive because they all involve our children. As you are here launching this standard operating procedure of, concerning the FGM, in the courts we come across so many matters affecting our young girls. In fact, just to name a few, which fall in that category of FGM, we come across incest matters, sodomy, defilement, rape, gang rape, trafficking for sexual exploitation, and these are the kind of matters we are facing here at the courts. And in fact, they need to be fast-tracked because these children, they are all school-going children, and they need not to be wasted time because of being affected by some of these atrocities. In fact, not a single day goes without having quite a number of matters in our consulate. We have 3 magistrates at our courts, and most of the days they handle about 2, 3, 4, 5 matters in a day concerning SGBV matters. And that is why we appreciate this initiative from the ODPP, that you have come with these standard operating procedures, which will, in fact, will make everybody aware that this is something which is serious and we need to tackle it together. Thank you, and let us all work together to see the success of this manual. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mugo. I recognize the presence of Mr. Abdi Wahab, Regional Coordinator, National Gender and Equality Commission. Yuko pande ile? Aya. Karibu sana. Now, before I call on the Honorable DPP to take us through the rest of the programs, may I kindly call upon Madam Jacinta Nyamosi, who is our Deputy Director, to come and just give us a very short remarks or overview of the standard operating procedures for FGM. Madam Jacinta Nyamosi, please, karibu. Utuelezee tu kwa ufupi hii standard operating procedure ni nini? Karibu sana Madam Nyamosi.
Na wasalimia wenzetu kutoka Garissa. All protocol observed. My boss, Madam SPP, actually gave us an outline of what the standard operating procedures are. Hii nakala ya hii tuna launch hapa leo. Sisi kama wakili wa serikali, lazima kila siku tujiendeleze, tusome kila saa, tujue vile tunaweza kuhudumia our complainants. Ukiangalia vizuri hizi standard operating procedures, inataka kuonyesha prosecutor ambaye ako katika kwa hii county na county zingine vile anaweza angalia ule complainant. Kama prosecutors on a day-to-day basis, especially when we are encountering victims, and in particular the victims of this FGM, some of them tell us very sad stories, very sad tales. So for me, here in Garissa, how do I manage this complainant or this victim? Or in Kisi, where I come from, how do I manage this victim? The victim is the same. Even if it's in Kisi, whether it's in Garissa, the victim is the same. So the prosecutor who is handling the case in another county should be able to manage the victim in the same manner. What is very disturbing is that some of the victims don't even know how to relate. So a prosecutor should equip herself or himself to be able to manage this victim. Some of the stories they tell us are so sad to the extent that sometimes we also break down. So we also have to find a space for us kama wakili wa serikali, tuone vile tunaweza tusianze kulia nao, tukue na nguvu ya kuwasikiliza na kuwa na ile njia ya kuwapatia suluhu. So Madam SPP actually took us through what the standard operating procedures. For me, in front of my boss, the DPP, and also the SPP, and in front of you, we are giving our commitment as prosecutors, so that when a victim comes to us, we are the ones, we are what you call the administrators of justice on behalf of the victims, so that we know how to manage them. Just to confirm to you, next week, as prosecutors, we are rolling down these SOPs. Tumeanza kazi. Hatujasema ati ni kitabu tu tumeiweka hapo. Tunaenda huko chini, kuna 5 counties tunaanzia. So for us, we are going to come back in Garissa. And the next time tutakuwa tumevaa vile tumevaa. Roll sleeves, tutavaa zile nguo za kufanya kazi. And we want to work for the victims. And thank you so much, watu wa Garissa. I know there's a problem. So for us in Kisii, it was a very, very big problem. And I keep on telling people, it is the men who are going to push for the fight against FGM in this region. It's not just the women, it's the men to fight for us. It has worked, and for me, we have given our commitment as prosecutors. I want to thank a special team led by a lady called Miss Caroline Karimi, who have been working strongly on this, vigilantly on this. I don't know where Caroline Karimi and her team are. They are very young people, but ile kazi wamefanya, they may look so young, but they have worked robustly on ensuring that these the SOPs are out. And we are in 47 counties. Asanteni sana. Thank you so much, DPP, for giving me this opportunity to serve the people who have the victims of FGM. Asante sana.
Thank you so much, Madam Jacinta Nyamosi. Madam Jacinta Nyamosi is the head of the conventional and related crimes, ambaye hii shida iko chini yake. Na mmesikia, sisi upande wetu tuko tayari kufanya kazi kuanzia wiki ijayo. May I now call upon the Honorable DPP sir to come and take us through the rest of the program. Karibu sana sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Amujambo. Okay. Kabla sijaanza, kuna waheshimiwa wawili wamekuja. Waliniomba kama wanaweza kuja, nikaambia wakuje kwa ajili haya mambo tunataka kuyazungumza na kuyajadili, mambo ambayo inawahusu wao sana kama viongozi wa hapa. Kwa hivyo kwanza nataka nimuite Mheshimiwa Safia, MP wangu wa Ijara, aje aseme machache. Karibu.
And the chief guest for today, Nurdin Haji, and the County Commissioner of Garissa, the County Secretary, the County Security Team, chiefs, the civil society organization present here. Salam alaikum. First, I feel very honored and very privileged, alhamdulillah, to be here today. And Bana DPP and the County Commissioner, I've been a champion on this issue. And being a champion today, it is my most happiest day to see all those people who stood here to talk about female genital mutilation. Majority are men. It gives me a pride, and I see light at the end of the tunnel. Bana DPP, when I was in the 10th Parliament, and I was the vice chair of Kenya Women Parliamentarians then, we pushed the initiative of having female genital mutilation to be an act of parliament. And when we did that, all the women, we decided to step aside, but give our views, our issues to our brothers who are pastoralists, men who knew equally the problem the women are facing in their constituency. Honorable Ekwe Ithuru, who comes from Turkana, and Ekwe and Honorable Kapondi. One was the mover and the other one was the seconder. But the brain behind that were the women who were in the parliament, and particularly the pastoralist women. And Bwana DPP, it was the first day in the history of Kenya for a person to stand on the floor of the August House and to give personal experience on female genital. I did that myself. And when I did that, men who refused and went out, and they told us we will never legislate culture, and they went out of the house. They were seeing through the screens. When I gave my personal experience, they cried and they came back to vote for that bill then. Honorable Millie Odhiambo is alive today. The Nyanza people do not practice female genital mutilation on the women. But she stood on the floor of the house when she had my personal experience. She cried on the floor of the house. And that is in the hazard. You people can check. Bwana DPP, what forced me to do that was when I was a young child and I was going through female genital mutilation, I lost 3 of my young childhood friends through female genital mutilation. Today, they are dead, Allah Rahmah. We were small kids. And I grew up with a problem saying, what happened? Why did they die? What is overbleeding? What is this? I didn't know. So when I left college and I was posted to become a teacher here in Garissa, there was a problem. And when we had the problem, and it was a very bad drought, the international community came the first time to this county. When they came, Bwana DPP, please give me time so that I can explain this. When they came, I was seconded by my ministry to a program called Nomadic Primary Healthcare Program in this county. And that is when I went around this county from corner to the other corner and realized the problems the women and the girls are facing in this county. So what happened? And I started now talking about critical issues that people were not able to talk about, issues that were touching on privacy of the community. I started talking. People were calling me the mad woman in this town. My mother called me and she sat with me and she told me, I brought you up in a very good way, in an Islamic way. Today, I hear you talk about things that are not Islamic. What is wrong with you? Then I thought I brought her sheikhs from even outside this country. And they sat with my mother because I should start with my house before I can go out. My mother then became comfortable of what I was doing. So that is how I left my house to talk about those issues. So when that happened, and as I was going around, there was a young girl of 13 years old that was chased by her parents from their home, thinking that she was pregnant. She was chased. And that is one of the complications of female genital mutilation. The girl, when she was chased, people told her there is a woman who advocates for girls, go to her. She came to my house and she cried. I told her what's wrong. She told me I was just, my parents think I'm pregnant. I've never seen a man. So mom, I want you to become my mother. I took the girl. I went with her to the hospital. And you can see all the signs of her being pregnant. I took her to hospital. She's not pregnant. I didn't know what to do. Garissa, then the hospital had no good facilities. Even myself, I had a problem because now she's not pregnant according to the test that we did. But physically, you can see she is. So what we did, I had to take her to Nairobi for scans and for what have you. We realized there was a problem, so we brought all those. Luckily, there was a doctor that used to come, a Rotary doctor who used to come to Garissa every 6 months. Every one of you know him. He's a household name person, Dr. Ekman. We know, you all know. When I showed Dr. Ekman the scans and he told me, Mom, bring the girl. He took her to the theater. Imagine all the period, the monthly period were not coming out. They were going back to the uterus. And that what caused it? Because, you know, when they did the female genital mutilation, there was something that they tied up. So the blood could not come out and it went back to the uterus. Now it formed. It became huge in the uterus. So the girl was operated. The blood was removed from her. They did a reconstructive surgery for her. That girl today, she is a graduate. She works for the government of Kenya. She is a mother of 3 kids today. That girl today she is doing her PhD through the courtesy of an organization called Womankind Kenya. And that is the girl who moved me out of my house to talk about female genital mutilation publicly. We brought doctors, we brought religious leaders, and I must thank the religious leaders of Garissa. Allah Rahma, I want you to pray for Sheikh Ali Gure. Sheikh Ali Gure supported this initiative in a big way. In a big way. I want to thank many ulumas, I can't name them. There are some of them who are dead. Like Sheikh Maawiya talked about female genital mutilation. We have religious leaders who stood on this issue. Bana DPP. It took us a long way. And when I did my personal again experience in the house, it caught up the international community. International community came and, you know, started inquiring and taking interviews and talking about the issues of female genital mutilation. Female mutilation is a deep-rooted culture. We know that. We know the reasons why people practice this. This is a violation of human rights. Completely. Besides all those reasons. This is a pharaonic practice. And being a Muslim, I'm not allowed to relate and to associate myself with Pharaoh. Am I right? So that is the issues of female genital mutilation. And it is upon us as the people of this county and beyond this county, particularly the Somali communities. This is the time we must, and I want to thank the DPP's office. I started by saying I'm proud woman today because of this launch and this engagement at this level with the Kenyan government. I want to thank His Excellency the President for committing the country and committing his government to end female genital mutilation. I want to say thank you very much for that commitment. The women of this region and the women of this country will be forever grateful and thankful to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya for being the champion #1 on female genital mutilation. Thank you so much. Bana DPP, we want also to say thank you to you and to your office. And we will request you as the women of this country. I know you are committed, you are very serious, you are a Muslim who practices Islam, and you will not allow this kind of violation. Being a Somali man, to launch this kind of event is something historical, and we want to appreciate and say thank you so much. And finally, when our former Deputy Chief Qadi for Kenya, now been in the board of FGM, when he was talking, he said, and the theme of this year is to end violence against women in the world. Bana County Commissioner, we have a lot of violation in terms of women violation in this county. And those violation, County Commissioner, as the women of this county, we want to plead with you. We have many different types of violation. When I come to violation that takes place here in Garissa town, there is conflict on land. And when we have conflict on land, it gives a problem to the girl child, to the woman, and to the household, entire household. We know there have been a problem. We know women have been raped of my age. And raping a woman of my age is really disempowering that woman completely and violating her right as a human being. And it gives that woman to lose her self-esteem and confidence. And that is happening here in Garissa town. Women have been raped around the peripheries of Garissa town. They cannot go out to fetch for firewood, for water, for anything because of conflict on land issues. We have plenty of land here. We are not short of land. And we are just telling your office, we know you people work very hard, and the entire security team. But that issue of the land is giving us a major nightmare as the leaders and as the community of this county. So, Bwana County Commissioner, before it goes out of the hand, and all the chiefs are here, and they know what happens in this county. The chiefs know. They know where the problem is, who are involved, what is going on, what is happening, and we know there are people who are protecting certain type of plots or land, that huge lands that people are grabbing. We will not allow any person to die because of self-interest of individuals. We will not allow any woman to be raped because of self-interest in this county. So we are giving notice to those people who are involved to refrain themselves from the issues that are involved. We know, we have ears, we have eyes, and we understand the problems. We do not have any other place to call home, Bwana County Commissioner. This is our home. I was born here, brought up here. There is a LT Tumbo Road. Only the original Garissa people know where LT Tumbo Road is. That is where my father's house is. That's where I was born, close to the KCB Bank. So we are asking. We know our Somalia, our country. What happened? We do not want another Somalia in Garissa County. We want peace. We want stability. We want development. We want honesty. We want inclusivity in everything that takes place here. We as leaders, we are happy to serve the people in an honest, in an open, in a transparent manner, Bwana Commissioner. So, Bwana Commissioner, ours as leaders, we are pleading with the security team. Now that we are going closer to election again, we want peaceful elections to take place in this county. Peaceful election. Thank you very much. I just want to say a word of Kisomali. I was told to say something in Kisomali. And waolahay inta halkan fadhido Kisomaliga waxaan sheegay oo dhan waa wada maqlayseen. Waxaan ku cusub maaha. Waa waxaan weligay sheegi jiray 28 sana. baan ka soo shaqaynay arrimaha maaragta gudniinka gabdhaha dhibkay leedahay iyo dhibaatada u geynayso gabadha waa waxaan wada ognahay waa wax maaragta aan sheegi karin ana xisaabin karin aniga kula hadlayo experience ka maray ilaahay baa og waqtiga ayada ahayd 3 gabdhood oo walaalaheeya ah baa ku dhinteen ilaa markaas ilaa waxay dib weyn bay igu haysatay ilaa maan ka hadlo markaan ka hadla culaysii badnaa oo isaarna iga degay waxaan uga hadlay gabar yar oo 13 jir ah baa reerkooda soo eryeen oo dhaheen waa uur gabadhii markii la soo eriyey waa uur la dhahay ay soo baxday that is in 1994 bay ahayd la soo eriyey markii la soo eriyey gabadhii ayada ahayd waan la xarbinay waxaa calooshii uur ahaan bay ay tahay laakiin gabadhii ayada ahayd testi markii laga qaado uur ma aha ciddi way soo eriyeen lama arki karo maxaa dhacday inaan ilaa Nairobi geyno testiye ka soo qaadno soo celino inikoo dhan waa garanaysaan nin Dr. Ekman la dhaho oo dhakhtar weyn Garissa ka ahaa ninkii asaga ahaa markuu x-rayihii arkay wax kasta arkay wuxuu arkay inay khalad jirto oo gabadhii caadada ka imaan lahayd inay gudaha ugu noqonaysay minkii ay ugu noqonaysay markaasay minkii buuxisay uur ahaan noqotay marka arrintii ayada ahayd waa la abreeshimay gabadhii qashinkii baa laga soo daadiyey dhiiggii baa laga soo bixiyey waa la furay waa la hagaajiyey gabadhii ayada ahayd maanta waxay haysataa ilmaha haysataa reer bay leedahay waa mutacalin halkay ka shaqaysaa gabadha ayada ah maanta waxay samaynaysaa PhD-geeda maanta samaynaysaa ay bilowday sanadkan ay bilowday PhD-geeda marka gabadha ayada iyo kumaankun gabdhood oo kale over thousands of girls baan gacanteena soo martay inaan ku protect garayno oon ka hadalno arrimaha sayto waxaan ku mahadinayaa oo aad ugu mahadinaya culimo fara badan Allah u naxariistay Sheekh Ali Guure uu kamid yahay Sheekh Maawiyo kamid yahay dadka kale oo noolna waa ognahay waana is ognahay Chief Salaad wuu ogyahay dadka oo dhan culimada oo dhan wuu aqaana nala shaqeyn jirtay asaga naftigiisa nala shaqeyn jiray Chief Yusuf ha jooga Chief badan ma Chief Khalif way badan yihiin marka dadkaasay too dhan kuy dhinteen Allah u naxariisto shaqo badan bay qabteen aad baan ugu mahadinaya waayo waxay soo saareen miiska inay gudmada ay tahay gurmo fircauniga inay tahay shaqo fircoon inay tahay shaqo fircoonna anaka hadda muslimiinna shuqul kuma lihin shuqul ma ku leenahay in yarna shuqul kuma lihin maadaama aan shuqul ku lahayn maanta waxay noqotay arrin maaragta taariikh leh arrin aan ku faraxsanahay markaa maqlay arrintan way socotaa anaa telefoon soo dirsaday anaa is alikeeyey oo isku alikeeyey shirkan inaa imaado waxaan ugu imaanayna meel alla meeshay jirto ee xadgudubka gabdhaha lagu samaynayo inaan imaado ka hadlo waajib bay igu tahay xaqna waa igu tahay marka maanta waxaan ku faraxsanahay oo aad iyo aad ugu sharfeeyaa DPP-ga Nuurdin Xaaji sharaf badan buu xaggeena ka jooga iyo raggi halkan ku wada hadleen iyo ragganayto ummadan oo fadhido halkanayto oo rabto inay wax ka qabato arrinta gudmo fircooniga gabdhaha la gudayo oo maaragta dhibka badan iyo rafaadka badan gabdhaha ummadda u geysatay marka waa mahadsantihiin muddo dheer baa idinku qaatay 100% thank you very much
Shukran Edo, asante sana. Nafikiria mumeona faida ya kuja hapa, si ndio? Kabla kumuita mheshimiwa Dahie, doctor, there is a representative from Wajir. I want to give him 2 minutes. Mr. Abdurrahman Mohammed Abdillah.
Guest of honor bwana DPP, County Commissioner Wajir, Garissa, wageni wengine wa mashuhuri. Assalamu alaikum. Mimi ni board member Wajir Municipality na nimekuja hapa kuwakilisha watu wa Wajir. Hii maneno ya FGM kila mahali Wajir, Mandera, Garissa, we always have at least 3 cases in a week. 3 cases in a week. Rape, anti-FGM na kila upande maneno ya maslaha imeenea kila mahali. Sisi watu wa Wajir wazee tuliona maslaha inadhulumu wasichana zaidi kuliko wavulana. Msichana anadhulimwa alafu tena ngamia 50 inalipwa, hiyo kesi inapotea hapo. Hiyo maneno for the last 10 years, 15 years. Mpaka sasa wazee wameona hii kitendo ya kila wakati kusamehe mkijana ambaye anaumiza msichana, hiyo haiwezekani na haitaendelea. We support all endeavors in stopping and in prosecuting those people who are popularizing FGM. Kwa hayo machache na shukuru nawaletea shukrani kutoka watu wa Wajia, Bwana DPP. They were aware of this launching in a short time. They could have come in big numbers, lakini hata hivyo wamesema nikusalamie na wanakupa upongozi. Assalamu alaikum.
Shukran. Hata Wajia tutakuja inshallah. I think Madam Nyamosi alisema ya kwamba tutakuja kufanya sensitization. Tutakuja Wajia na Mandera pia na Tana River na kwingine. Na sasa ningetaka kumalika Mheshimiwa Dr. Dahia, yeye ni daktari. Yeye pia atuambie. Nafikiri mmeona hawa wawili, Mama Edo Safia ni mtu ambaye ako na experience, amefanya hii maneno na amesimamia mambo mingi kwa girl child, na amekuja kutupatia experience yake ambaye imeleta faida kwetu. Na sasa Dr. Dahia ambaye alikuwa daktari hapa kwa miaka mingi pia atatuzungumzia na atupatie experience yake kama mheshimiwa na daktari. Karibu.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And the chief guest, Mr. Nurdin Haji, the Director of Public Prosecution, and the staff from the Office of DPP, the county security team, and the county national staff, the regional police commander, Judiciary, members from civil society organizations, and all protocols observed. Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I will talk in English. Later on, I will also speak in Somali. And as my brother has introduced me, I am a medical doctor who practices in Garissa. And FGM is otherwise known as female genital mutilation. You can see even the word mutilation itself in English is not a good word. And in Swahili, they call it kuketa. Kukeketa, yes. It's also a very awful name. And basically, what that means that is defined by WHO as partial or total removal of external genitalia of females. The practice is carried out by many communities in the world and is very prevalent in this part of the country. The practice has no health benefit. Absolutely, it has even very serious health effect. It is also a violation of human rights of the child because the person who it is being done on is a child who is under the care of the parents. And the people who are doing on that person are the people who are supposed to take care of them. It is a practice that causes serious medical harm during the procedure. It causes a lot of harm later on in life, including the night of the wedding, including delivery. It causes infertility. It kills children. It kills mothers. It is a terrible practice. And I think that as a community, it has also no religious basis. We are not the only community who are Muslims the world over. There are Europeans who are Muslims, there are Arabs, there are so many other people. And this practice is getting away. Let us also not hide under the religion to say that it's a practice approved by religion. Now, I want to say that in my practice in Garissa, I have seen very terrible things. What Honorable Safia described is truly one of the complications which also occurs. In medical terminology, it's called hematocarpus. That's what it's called. And it was very sad when that young lady was told that she's pregnant and while she said she had never met a man. And these are some of the things which happen to people. I'm happy people have given self-narration on their ordeal which has taken place. And I think that let us not allow this practice. Whatever the government will do is still a society issue.
The practice is carried out by women. It is the mothers and the grandmothers. And the person who is doing the procedure normally is an elderly female who is doing it on these girls. Many times in this culture, if you were to ask men, sometimes they don't even know it has happened, even in a household. And I think that I agree that men have a role, but let's also challenge our mothers, our lady sisters, those who are educated. If a survey is done, in fact, even among the educated lot, people still practice that. I'm aware that people in Europe, Somalis who have migrated to Europe and North America, bring their children here for circumcision. And sometimes you wonder why they will go all that length. And sometimes you find that in those countries, when young girls are brought to Africa, they are checked when they are taken back in order to address that practice. I agree today we are launching the manual, but I think that we have to go a bit deeper. We have to go and look for the people who do this practice and try to educate them. We have to talk to the mothers. We have to give a lot of education to the girl child in school and in institutions of learning, the ulamas, the madrasas, and all those places. And for the men, I think that every man should take care of his home to talk to the mothers of the children to say that you don't agree to FGM. Who is it being done for? Is it done for men? Yes, Muhammad. Yes. Now that's one thing I want to say. That is now the perception. But I'm sure the men who are here, do you approve it? Yeah, because sometimes this is really no man, that's just hiding under. Let us declare today, men have no interest for FGM. We should not, I will not say that we should say that for you to marry a girl, you must ask. Because that's also, again, going to violate their rights even more. But let's say this. Let's take our role as fathers, as grandfathers, as men, to say that we don't approve of this harmful practice. So I want to say, in my experience in Garissa PGH, I have seen so many complications from what Madam Safi has talked about to what you call fistulas in women. Sometimes they get serious damage to the urinary tract and the rectum, where they cannot control defecation and urine. And sometimes I remember when I was doing my course in Kenyatta, there was two ladies from Garissa who were in Kenyatta for 15 years. 15 years in Kenyatta National Hospital. And that lady was from Garissa County, from Balambala. She was a victim of FGM. She developed a very severe fistula that could not be repaired. So many 100 times attempts were made. And even today in Garissa, I'm sure sometimes you get specialists who come and repair fistulas on women who have suffered because of FGM. Women also get a lot of complications like infection. You see, in this society, when you talk about genital infection, from a medical point of view, many doctors and clinicians always think that if you say infection, it is a sexually transmitted infection. But in this society, because of this procedure, they get complication which also results in infection, which is not sexually transmitted, but because of the effect of FGM. And I think that we want to work hand in hand with our government, with our chiefs, with the elders, with ulamas, with the political leaders. We want to work and to eradicate this harmful culture in our society. Also, I want to say that if you were to look around, of course, we're here in Garissa, and I want to thank the Director of Public Prosecution, Mr. Nurdin. Today, I'm aware the entire office of DPP is here. We thank you so much for bringing this event to Garissa, because it is not common. It is also giving the weightiness it deserves in this area. Because as it has been said by the speech by Dr. Rashid, that 95% of women in this part of the country practice. Today, there has been a lot of education. So why should it be 95? We should have lowered it. And one of the other ways to address is also to get the girl child to education. Let us educate our girls, take them to school, let them have equal opportunity as boys. I know going school age children in this county is very low. We are almost 30%. That's not good. Because if you see the population of school age children who are in school and the target, they are far much apart. So let us also focus on education. On the other issue, I just want, because it's an opportunity for us to talk about issues of concern to the residents of Garissa County. And because it's an opportunity, we are going to an election year. Electioneering is a process that we need to have a peaceful election process. In this county, we have had issues of illegal firearms, even in this town itself. Illegal firearms in the hands of gangs and criminals who are marauding around, protecting land, I don't know for what. We want to challenge the leadership, including myself. Let us address that issue, because there are so many people who have been killed in Garissa town. There are women who have been raped. People cannot, land has become very, very serious. This town, land is becoming a very serious issue. The reason is because in my life, I have been brought up in this town. I went to school in 1971. And from 1971, I remember, up to today, land allocation in a formal way, I don't know when it was last done. I think the person I remember most was Mzee Sahal and Osman Muhammad. Those two guys attempted. In fact, the roads now in some of the bulas were courtesy of Sahal, who the Somalis called Sahal Dumiye. But today, I'm sure those roads have served us very well. Today, this town, there is no road, access road, even for utilities like fire, like drainage, like electricity, like whatever, ambulance, emergency, whatever it is. People are coming to Garissa town and they cannot officially get. So what has happened? People have settled haphazardly without taking care of social amenities, access, schools. You find that the only institutions which are there are those ones which were given long time ago. Many places where people have now settled, there is no provision for school, there is no provision for mosque, there is no provision for graveyard, there is no provision for security. But Bunei, I know we have been having a problem in an area called Burburis. There is a place where we wanted for a police station. That place is about 10 kilometers from Garissa police station. This town needs infrastructure like police station, needs health facilities, needs schools. Every land has been occupied by people who have just, rounded off. And it has also brought a problem because beyond certain area, that land has also people with title deeds. Every time there's a drought, people migrate to towns. We have had a very bad drought. Many people have lost their animals. Those people will come to Garissa. Where will they settle? We are going to have a serious challenge of insecurity because of land issues. I challenge the county government. The county government of Garissa should actually address the issue of land. Let us get people officially allocated land. Because why should you be buying land even without a title deed, without any allotment, for millions of shillings? Yet you cannot get land officially with a title deed with anything. This town, we should have had title deeds, allotment letters, so that land also can be of value. These are some of the biggest challenges. And I want to say that those militias and gangs, they are not just there. They are being funded by leadership. Let's be very honest. It's some leaders who are also funding these militias and gangs, who are killing, who are raping, who are causing all these problems of insecurity. The town is also very dirty. horrible that Garissa town is like a slum. I'll be very honest with you. There's no difference between Garissa town and Madar slum or Kibera slum because there is no proper plan. We just look. Waste collection is not done. When it rains, you are sure you're going to get outbreak of diarrheal diseases because there'll be flies everywhere. You see, we pray for rains. Then when we get rains, people become very sick. Children become sick. Hospitals are crowded because there is a lot of dysentery and also diarrheal disease because of this poor sanitation. All this requires a very serious plan. And I think the leadership of Garissa, including myself, it is an honor, a task on us to address Garissa town needs a facelift, a better way of living. We also appeal to the security. Please, those people who are marauding with the guns, the government has the necessary machinery. Let us apprehend those guys, take them to court. We should not have gangs, killing people and doing all these kind of things. And I want to say that also on the issue of service provision, all these vast areas which have been settled, they have no schools, they have no health facilities, there are no graveyards. Today, if you die, people look for a space to bury. Every time somebody buys a small piece of land, we have a lot of land in this county. So my brothers and sisters, this is a challenge for Garissa County. And I'll say that we have failed. Leadership has failed. And even particularly the county government, land is a devolved function. City planning is a devolved function. This year, they wanted to bring the last public event was the Masuja Day event here. But they said, where will they hold it? There's no place to hold Masuja Day. We miss even. Wajir County, Mandera County, I think they are much better than us. Leave alone even other places. So with those many remarks, I will now say a few things in Somali. Walaalayaal, xafladan maanta aan iskugu imaanay waxaan horta u mahadnaqay my brother wiilka anaga Nurdin Haji Ahmed oo xafladan soo qaban qaabiyey una ku mahadsan yahay shaqaalihiisa kulli magaaladan bay maanta joogaan. Arrintan laga hadlan waa arrintan gudniinka nooca fircooniga safiya ka hadashay gudniinka waxaa la dhahaa Soomaalida ay taqaano waa nooc fircooni ah 4 qaybood buu kala baxaa qayb koobaad 2 3 4 midka ugu xun waa midka afraad Soomaalida midkaasay waa midda gabdhaha hilibkooda la jarjari oo haddana la toli oo dhibaato badan ay ku dhacdo dhiig bax infection iyo markasta hatta markay ilmo dhalaan inay dhibaato badan u imaato oo hatta ilmaha uu ka dhinto dhakhtar ahaan waan ogahay dumarka kolkol dhibaatada ku dhacdo inay ceshan waayaan kaadida iyo saxarada sababta ay tahay arrinta ayada marka waxaan rabnaa arrintaas inaan la dagaalno waxaan leenahay arrinta waxaa suubiyaa dumarka haweenka suubiyaan hooyooyinka iyo ayeeyaha iyo kuwa sacnada suubiyaan raggana qayb buu ku leeyahay nin kastoo rag ah oo gurigiisa waxaan rabnaa inay ogaadaan gabdhahay dhalaan inay dhahaan gabdhahayga lama gudahay waxaa la dhahaa ragga loo gudo gabdhaha laakiin ragga anima aaminsani inay rag loo gudahay dadka muslimiinta anaga kelima nihin diinta islaamkana arrinta ayada way ka horjeedaa waa xadgudub xuquuq bini'aadanimada caafimaad ahaan faa'iido ma laha wax ilaahay wartooy tari ma laha marka arrinta ayada aan la dagaalno waxaan rabaa ayadan inaan ka hadlo magaaladan Gaaris dhibaato badan baana haysataa amni la'aan baa jirtaa magaaladan waqti election uu soo socdaa dad hubeysan baa jira gabdho la kufsadaa jiraan dad la dilaa jiraan dhul baana lagu dilahaya waddankana dhulkii waa la diiday in dadka loo sharciyo countiga haddii dhulka dadka u sharciyeen lahayd waxaa ka soo geli lahaa dakhli fara badan dadkana waxay heli lahaayeen dhul xalaal ahoo macnaha hataa ay ku qaataan haddii bangi ama shuwarity ama wax kastaba hataa dad maalgeliyaan way imaan lahayn laakiin waddankan dhul la bixiyo waxaan xuseen waxaa ugu dambeysay waagii county council iyo municipal council ahaan ninkii la dhihi jiray sahal oo mayor ka ahaa iyo allaha u naxariista muse Cusmaan Rati waqtigiisa jidka hadda loo baxsaday oo magaalada Gaas ka jiraan waa kuwa ayaga dhul la bixiyo oo official dadka la siiyo allotment goormay ugu dambeysay Gaaris yaa garan 30 sano ka hor inta la dega hadda waa iska degoon dadkii way degeen nin kale la imaan warqad title deed kanna wuxuu ku dhistay guriga ma la dumin ku kalena warqad buu la imaad arrinta ayada runtii walaalayaalow mas-uuliyiinta reer Garis weliba county government arrinta dhulka waa arrin adinka mas-uuliyaddiina ah waxaan rabnaa magaaladan waa magaalo wasaq badan jidad ma laha wasaq lama aruuriyo hadda roob markuu da'ay waxaa dhici doona shuban iyo calool xanuun iyo daqsi iyo dhibaatooyin fara badan waxaana waxaa keeni magaalada ma laha nidaam haba yaraatee wasaq lama aruuriyo jidadka kulli waxay noqotay qashin qub bay noqdeen marka waxaan doonaynaa mas-uuliyiinta reer Garis oo county government ay u weyn tahay iyo annagana aan ku jirno arrintan hal weji ahaan hala qaabilo dhulkan hala bixiyo hataa hadduu rabo ha tago dhadhaab Garis ha tagto dhadhaab Mudoogaas ha tagto Balambala ha tagto Burra ha tagto dhulaan ma haysaa ya dhulaan ma haysa runtii hataa haddii dhul la bixiyo oo dadka jidad loo hagaajiyo Nairobi waxaa laga soo shaqo looga imaada Thika iyo Kajiado iyo Kiambu iyo Melkas iyo Machakos magaaladan hataa dhadhaab imaan kara haddii plan fiican loo marka waxaan rabnaa arrinta ayada inay ayadana la fiiriyo hadalkayga intaasaan ku soo kabay aad baa mahadsantihiin soona dhawaada
Asante. Labda kabla sijaanza kuna our deputy director in charge of administration, Mr. Khator, who was I think a county commissioner at some point, na colleague to tamwambia kuja kwanza tuamshe kidogo, kuja wasalimia watu wa Garissa.
Our DPP and members of the public. Assalamu alaikum. Sauti haina nguvu. Assalamu alaikum. Ningewaomba jambo moja tu tafadhali. Tusimame kwa sababu tumekaa kwa muda kuanzia saa 3. Tafadhali. Tafadhali angalia upande wako wa kushoto. Ile miaka ya zamani tulikuwa tunasema jua jirani yako campaign. Sijui kama mnakumbuka. Hebu hakikisha yule ambaye yuko upande wako wa kushoto unamjua. Unamjua? Na yule upande wa kulia unamjua? Kwa hivyo huo ndio usalama wetu, si ndio? Ningesema mufanye ile head, inaitwa head, shoulder, knees and toes, lakini italeta balaa. Asanteni sana, pia nashukuru leo nimewahi kufika hapa. Labda nawashukuru tu kwa sababu ni ule uhusiano mzuri tuliokuwa nayo watu wa Garissa. Ile support mlinipatia kwa muda wa miaka 2.5 hapa. Tulikuweza kujenga community ambayo iliweza kuelewana na tukapambana na majanga yaliokuwa makubwa wakati ule. Mpaka kufikia leo nikifika hapa watu bado wananitaja, nashukuru. Ni kwa sababu yenu. Naomba pia tushirikiane na wale wenzetu tukiwa na county commissioner hapa kiongozi na regional bosses ili community yetu ya Garissa iweze kusongea mbele. Yale ambayo tumeongea kuhusu FGM ni matatizo tumekuwa nayo kwa muda, ni wakati ya kutokana nayo, na sasa leo tumepata SOPs kuhusiana na FGM. Tushirikiane ili tuweze kusongea mbele kama vile jamii zingine sehemu zingine. Kwa hayo mengi, asante sana, umenipata by surprise. Sikutarajia kuzungumza, lakini Mungu awabariki sana na Mungu awazidi kuwapatia maelewano na tuweze kushirikiana na tushirikiana na viongozi wa serikali. Asanteni sana, tafadhali niketini.
Shukran Mr. Rashid Khator. So mimi nitaanza yangu. Honorable Sophia, MP Jara, Honorable Dr. Dahir, MP Dadaab, County Commissioner, Mr. Boaz, the Regional Police Commander, Mr. Bunei, County Secretary, Abdul Rashid, iko Madam Fatuma Ahmed Bathi, yuko Brighter Society Initiative, Dr. Rashid Omar, Director, Anti-FGM Board, the Judiciary Representative, religious leaders, IPOA Regional Manager, Mr. Kaimenyi. So, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, habari ya asubuhi. Ama imefika ni asubuhi bado. Mko wazima? Naona labda njaa, labda watu wengine wanafunga, leo ni Jumatatu. Ningependa kuwashukuru sana kuja hapa leo, kujumuika na sisi, na kuja ku launch hii tunaita SOP, ambaye ni kartasi ama program ama barnamij inahusiana na mambo ya kukeketa ama FGM. Kwa hivyo nawashukuru sana kwa nyinyi kuja hapa leo. Najua kama vile walivyosema waliozungumza mbele yangu, hili ni jambo ambalo tusumbua sisi kama watu wa jamii wa pastoralist. Wacha niseme pastoralist, manake wengi zaidi ambao wanahusika kwa haya mambo ni jamii ya pastoralist. Na ukiangalia research ambazo zimefanywa, jamii ya Wasomali ndio kama walivyosema director wa Anti-FGM ndio inaongoza na 93%, ikifuatwa na jamii ya Wasamburu, alafu wa Kisii na Masai. Na hili tuseme hili kitendo sio kitendo ambayo ni mzuri, ni kitendo ambayo inasumbua na inaleta madhara mingi zaidi kwa wasichana haswa na wanawake baadaye, haswa wakiwa wanawake, wakiwa wameanza mambo ya hedhi. Ni kitu ambayo inawasumbua na inaweza kuleta madhara hata kuweza kutopata watoto, ambalo ni jambo sisi sote lazima tuwe uso mbele kusimamisha. Madhumuni ya sisi kuja hapa leo ni kwa ajili ya hiyo research tuliyoifanya, ambayo ilionyesha jamii ya Northeastern haswa ndio inaendeleza mambo hayo mpaka kwa sasa. Na ni jambo ambalo hata ukiangalia kwa dini haikubaliki. Nafikiri Sheikh amesema, sina haja kurudia. Mheshimiwa Safia ambaye ametueleza kwa upana madhara yake, tunaona kwamba ni kitu ambayo dini haikubali. Kwa hivyo sisi haswa watu wa Northeast ambao tuseme 90% ni Waislamu, hatuwezi kusema ya kwamba hii ni dini, maanake dini haikubali. Na wanaojaribu kusema kwamba iko kwa dini, wenyewe dalili zao ni dhaifu, sio dalili ambayo inaweza kusimamishwa na kuweza kuthibitisha ya kwamba jambo hili ni jambo la sawa. Nafikiria mkiangalia hata Mtume Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam akizungumza mambo ya kujamiana mwanamume na mwanamke, ni kitu ambalo inatakana kuwa ni kitu ya kheri na kitu ya raha, si ndio? Lakini ikiwa mmefanya hivi, inakuwa ni kitu wanawake wengine hata wanaogopa, ni kitu ambayo inamletea mwanamke madhara, wengi hata wanakufa kama vile walivyosema Madam Safia, either wakiwa wadogo wametoa damu, ama wakati wanataka kuzaa, inakuwa kuzaa ni ngumu na inamhatarisha yule mwanamke. Kwa hivyo sisi kama ofisi ya ODPP tumeweka emphasis kwa hili jambo, ya kwamba tujaribu kuona kama ODPP tunasimamia upande wetu, upande wa mandate yetu, kuweza kuprosecute mambo kama haya yakitokea, na pia kuchukua jukumu ya kuweza kuwasensitize na kuwaeleza jamii hii madhara na ni jambo gani linaweza kufanyika ikiwa umevunja sheria, ambayo sheria hiyo ni hiyo ya FGM, na ni jambo gani litafanyika na ni namna gani tunaweza kuhakikisha jambo hili lina simamishwa. Kwa hivyo kwa hii SOP tunaeleza kwa upana sheria ni nini, na tunaeleza ni namna gani mtu ambaye ni complainant, ambaye analalamika, mlalamishi, na hata ule ambaye amekosea, the accused, ni haki gani wao wako nayo, na ni namna gani kesi kama hii inaweza kuletwa, na ni namna gani pia yule anasimamia mashtaka, yani prosecutor, atabidi afanye kuhakikisha ile kesi inafaulu. Manake kama mnavyojua, wasichana na wanawake haswa kwa jamii yetu hii ya pastoralist ni watu wa haya sana. Kwa hivyo ni vipi wataweza kwenda kumwambia yule prosecutor ama yule investigator, mimi nimefanyiwa hivi kwa hii mambo ya FGM kwa mfano. Kwa hivyo sisi kama ODPP tumeweka team ya desk ya kudeal na mambo ya FGM, na hii team zaidi ina wanawake, na tutajaribu kuhakikisha pia hapa kutakuwa na wanawake prosecutors wa kutosha. Tayari tuko kwa njia ya kuandika prosecutors zaidi ya 150, na mimi najua nimelaumiwa kwamba watu wengi shortlist ni wa Somali. Lakini ukiangalia kwa asilimia ile ya pale ofisini ni jamii hizi zingine ni watu kidogo sana, na hatuwezi sisi kusema kama ODPP we are a national institution kama hatuna watu wa jamii zote. Kwa hivyo tutajaribu kuleta watu wa jamii hii wawe hapa, wanawake pia, ili waweze kukaa chini na wanawake wenzao kwa hudumia ipasavyo. Jambo lingine nimesikia ni mambo ya masla. Nafikiria tumesema mimi mwenyewe kuna watu wamenifuata kutoka Ijara na wengine kutoka Tana River kutuambia bana sisi na ni jambo ambalo ni ya rep kusema tafadhali tumekubaliana kinyumbani na tutalipa masla. Na wengine kesi nyingine ni mjomba na niece wake, mjomba na mtoto ya ndugu yake, na wanatuambia ati tukubaliane nini masla. Hiyo nataka mfahamu vizuri sana, kwa mambo ya gender based violence na mambo ya sexual offenses na mambo kama hii ya FGM, mambo ya defilement, hakuna maslaha itakubaliwa. Na kama kweli nyinyi ni Waislamu, mnajua ya kwamba kama mwanamke amekuwa raped, hukumu yake ni nini? Hakuna hata kwa Uislamu ati hukumu mtu akiwa raped mnaenda kufanya maslaha. Hakuna. Kwa hivyo mtakujaje mseme leo ati sisi tufanye mambo ya maslaha? Hiyo hakuna. Na nimewaambia huyo mtu ataenda jela, akitaka atafute court of appeal, akienda kuappeal, na sisi tutaleta lawyers wakali zaidi ili kujadiliana na wao, kupambana na wao. Bwana County Commissioner, jambo lingine nimeona, kwa mfano kesi ambayo tumeona upande wa Wajir na Mandera, utaona machief wao ndio wanaongoza wazee ati maslahi ifanywe. Kwa hivyo tafadhali tu sensitize machief wetu na wanaosimamia kazi hizi za serikali ya kwamba hakuna jambo kama hilo kwa upande wa maslahi. Kwa upande wa hiyo mambo ya sexual violence na GBV. Mambo mengine labda mambo kama ni mambo ya ardhi ama mambo hiyo lakini mambo ya GBV mambo ya sexual offenses, mambo ya mada, hiyo upande wa masla sisi kama serikali ya Kenya na ofisi ya ODPP hatutambui na wala hatutakubali. Kwa hivyo hiyo tafadhalini ifahamike kwa uzuri sana. Jambo lingine ambayo sisi watu wa ODPP kwa upande wa FGM na sexual na GBV na SGBV tumehakikisha ya kwamba kutakuwa na workshops ya kutosha kusensitize wale wanaohusika kwa upande wa civil society na pia kuwafahamisha wananchi madhara ya hizi mambo na vile haki yao. Manake kazi ya ODPP ni kuhakikisha kwamba kama tunavyosema kwa kizungu, kila mtu anapata access to justice. Sorry. Ya kwamba unaweza, kila mtu ana nafasi, kila mtu Mkenya ana nafasi ya kwenda kotini kuleta kesi yake na hiyo kesi kuwa prosecuted. Sitaki kusoma hii speech manake ni mrefu na naona time imekwenda. Nadhani tumesema mengi na sitaki kuyarudia tena. Sisi kama ODPP tunawahakikishia ya kwamba tutafanya kazi na nyinyi, na leo tuko hapa leo na kesho na tutarudi tena. Saa 8 tutaangalia kesi ambazo zimechelewa kufanyiwa kazi. Tutakaa chini kama ODPP na hizo mafile. Kama kuna watu ambao watataka kuja, watakuja watuambie. Kesho pia tutakutana na wananchi, watuambia kama kuna makesi ambayo sisi kama ODPP tumechelewesha, ama wenzetu kwa upande wa police, National Police Service labda wamechelewesha, na vipi tunaweza kuharakisha na kuhakikisha tumewahudumikia nyinyi kama wananchi. Ya mwisho nafikiria nimesikia malalamishi ya mambo ya ardhi kutoka wabunge wetu. Ilikuwa tumewaalika mambo ya FGM, lakini mnajua wabunge mpaka wazungumze kidogo. Lakini take note. Mimi kama mkazi wa Garissa najua kwamba hilo jambo liko na shida hiyo iko. Na kwa hivyo tutajaribu sisi kama viongozi wa hapa kukaa chini na kuona kama tunaweza kupata suluhisho, si ndio? Ili kila mtu awe anamiliki ardhi yake kwa haki. Kila mtu. Manake Garissa ni ya kila mtu. Na Garissa hata wale ambao sio wa Somali wakija wana haki ya kuwa na ardhi hapa. Na uwezi kuja ukasema ati huyu ametoka down country ama sijui tunasema up country hawezi kuwa na ardhi hapa. Hii ni Kenya. Kila mtu ako na haki ya kuwa na ardhi. Wacha mambo ya nyinyi kama jamii na clans kuwa na ardhi. Lazima ijulikane ya kwamba ardhi hapa, ikiwa umefuata sheria kisawasawa, ya kwamba utakuwa umemiliki na hutakuwa unakaa kwa uoga ama hofu yoyote. Na hiyo ndio sheria inavyosema. Na unajua kwa hakika kuna mambo mawili matatu ambayo kama nchi haiwezi kutatua italeta shida. Moja ni mambo ya ardhi. Ya pili ni mambo ya kuweza kufanya biashara na kukaa na security. Hiyo ni vitu muhimu sana. Na mambo ya tatu ni wanawake yetu. Ikiwa wanawake hawana utulivu, na ndio tuko hapa na mambo ya FGM, basi italeta shida kwa nchi, manake italeta vurugu. Kwa hivyo sisi tutajaribu kutafuta hiyo suluhisho, na mimi mwenyewe nitajaribu kuhakikisha kwamba viongozi hawa tutaenda hata kama ni kwa Cabinet Secretary Matiang'i, tuende tumuone kwa hili jambo la ardhi kabla halijaharibika na kabla halijaleta madhara kwa kila mtu. Kwa hayo machache, ningependa kumshukuru County Commissioner kwa kuja hapa, na pia Regional Police Commander na County Secretary na wengine wote waliokuja hapa leo. Na nataka kuhakikishia kwamba tutafanya kazi pamoja na tutahakikisha You want me to speak in English? Si watatranslate tu. Hao watu ya media wanakuwa lazy. Simweke hapo chini mutranslate kwa Kizungu ama vipi? Badala ya kuweka watu sana hapa. So let me just conclude in urging each one of us to individually and collectively safeguard the health, dignity, and future of our daughters, mothers, and sisters by ensuring that these SOPs on FGM are successful and are implemented to the letter. Once again, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to the survivors of FGM who have been courageous enough to speak out against the vice, led by none other than Honorable Safia, who happens to also be my aunt. Thank you very much for taking that up. The government representatives here, led by the county commissioner and the regional police commander, the civil society, Madam Fatuma Bathi, who is a leading civil society person, the community, the members of parliament, and the religious leaders. Your presence is a demonstration of your commitment to ending this scourge. God bless and thank you all.
Asante sana Honorable DPP Sir kwa mazungumzo yako mazuri ambayo nafikiri tutayatilia mkazo. Sasa ladies and gentlemen, umefika ule wakati ambao tumekuwa tukingojea kwa hamu sana. Umefika wakati sasa wa kuzindua rasmi hizi SOP zetu. Ile shughuli iliyotuleta hapa sasa ndio wakati wake umefika, baada ya kusikiliza mawaidha mazuri sana kutoka kwa viongozi wetu. Kwa hiyo ningekuomba Honorable Sir usogee karibu hapo. Nafikiri umeshata na tupige makofi wakati mkubwa anakuja.
Mimi nataka kubadilisha kidogo, niambie Madam SPP na Honorable Safia wakuje tukate hiyo kitu pamoja.
Asante sana. Haya, makofi, makofi. Haya, ndio hiyo inakatwa. Haya, makofi, makofi, makofi.
Gobolka Nogo, Gobolka City, Gobolka Fafa, dadka soo dhaadhale, dhulka wayaad dhuloolanay ka soo dhaadhale. Laguna halki lagu dhale, dhida lagu habiyo dhaxya dhulo, ha, dhulka wayaad dhuloolanay ka soo dhaadhale. Dhulaf berde, ha, qorraxaydha, ha, Shabele, ha, dadka soo dhaadhale, dhulka wayaad dhuloolanay ka soo dhaadhale. Laguna halki lagu dhale, dhida lagu habiyo dhaxya dhulo, ha, dhulka wayaad dhuloolanay ka soo dhaadhale. Gobolka Dulo, Gobolka Jarar.
Asante sana wageni wetu. Asante sana, wacha msimame tu hapa mpige picha. Thank you so much, Honorable DPP, Madam Sophia, and distinguished members. Thank you so much. Please simameni hapo mpige picha. Mheshimiwa. Haya, utoe mask mheshimiwa, usmile. Mr. County Commissioner, sir, remove your yes. Haya, mtoe smile. Ile kabisa, ile smile mzuri. Asanteni sana. I think turudi tuketi vile tulikuwa tumeketi ndio tumalize shughuli zetu please. Thank you so much. Yusuf, please let's resume our seats. Time is not on our side, please. Aya, tunaenda kumaliza, tukae. Aya, wapiga picha please nafikiri mumechukua picha za kutosha. Thank you so much, Honorable DPP sir and distinguished guests. This has been a blessed day, especially for having Madam Safia here, Honorable Safia. We could not have asked for a better representative when we were dealing with this particular aspect. So we really appreciate and we say thank you so much, Honorable Safia. Now, sir, may I kindly ask the head of the ODPP Northeastern Region, Mr. Charles Orinda, to come and give us a vote of thanks. Karibu, Mr. Charles Orinda.
Mjamboni. On behalf of the entire office of the DPP, let me take this opportunity to thank all the dignitaries who have come to grace this occasion of the launching of these standard operating procedures. The law has been there, and we have been asking what to do with it. This is like a bridge which is going to guide the prosecution and the investigation on the approach to give, considering the sensitive nature of this type of offense. DPP, the SPP, County Commissioner, SUPCEM, Haki Africa, the officials of Anti-FGM Board, the Regional Police Command, we, the prisons, and the Judiciary who are here, we are very grateful that you took your time out of your busy schedule to be with us to grace this occasion. The public, we are very grateful for you having come in large numbers to show solidarity with us. Those officers who are working tirelessly at the office of the DPP to bring this occasion to success, we appreciate your efforts. And it has been a long journey. It is just the beginning. We, as the officers of the DPP who are here, we are committed to forefront fight against female genital mutilation. Thank you, and I wish you an enjoyable afternoon.
Asante sana, Mr. Orinda. Before we go for lunch, Honorable DPP sir, there is a team that has requested to take a photo with you, the Juvenile Center. Can you please stand here? Where are they, please? I think it should take a second. And before you go for lunch, please ensure that you get the meal card. The meal cards will be provided. Huwezi kwenda huko lunch bila hiyo kadi. Kwa hiyo mtakaribishwa kwa hiyo lunch. Please fanyeni haraka. As we are waiting for the photo session, please hurry up. Hurry up, please. Ningependa tu kusema kwamba kwa sababu ya mambo ya mashekhe ambao wanajaribu kutafsiri namna hii, the FGM board wamefanya translation ya ile sheria ya mambo haya kwa lugha ya Kiarabu ili wakisoma waelewe na kusiwe na interpretation ambayo haifai. Kwa hiyo kuna hiyo sheria ya anti-FGM iko kwa lugha ya Kiarabu. Kwa hiyo mashekhe na ulama wetu sasa mnaweza mkasoma kwa Kiarabu mkaielewa vizuri. Kusiwe na mambo ya kufanya mambo yanakuwa sivyo katika dini. Asante sana Your Honorable DPP. Kwa hiyo tumefikia mwisho.